Short. My name is April if you're new here, and today we have a yarn haul. This is a very small yarn haul, but it's yarn that I'm actually trying out. A lot of you are aware that Nooks Hooks said that there is a US brand for the yarn that she uses now. It's called Cenilco Jelly Chunky, I think is what it's called. And of course, I bought some. The reason why I really hope this works out is that it's on Amazon. Not that I love Amazon. However, the good thing about being an Amazon Prime member is free shipping. And when you buy 5 or more skeins, it was 40% off. I don't know if that's going to be a forever sale or if it's just an initial sale, but it was a pretty good one. Making 5 skeins of yarn. I believe I have 5 skeins in here, but we'll see. My total was $26 for this order. I am a person that hates to make $100 yarn orders just to get free shipping. Sometimes I don't need that large of a yarn order. Not that I can't do it, but you know, sometimes you just got a yarn order in and hey, you just need that one color. So it would be a great option if this yarn worked out for me. The other thing I'm really interested in with this yarn particularly, we're gonna see it very soon here. I will open this up, but is that it has 75 colors. That is a huge shade range, and like you could almost have any color you need. So I'm gonna open this up, show you the yarn, but also I'm gonna make something with it and we'll see how it works out. Let's get right into it. I know you guys are like dying for me to open this package probably. You're like, stop holding it, stop yapping, let's open it. Okay, right away, I'm just dipping in here and feeling super soft. Like obviously chenille yarn can be so soft. So these are the colors that I got. Oh God, is it doing that thing where there's numbers for the colors? Jeez. Okay, so this is the first one. It is this darker kind of almost cornflower blue color. The color it says is 124. I don't like that. I hate numbers for colors. Like it just drives me bonkers. Put a freaking name on it. Even if you want to do blue, dark blue, medium blue, I don't care. Just don't give me a freaking number. But anyways, yeah, this is already very soft. The size is actually very much exactly like Parfait Chunky to me. Let me get a Parfait Chunky. We'll go with this one right here. So this is Parfait Chunky right here. I just have it caked up. And this is the Cenilco. Very similar in size to me. Maybe this is just a tiny bit girthier. Girthier, we'll use that word. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a little bit bigger than that. Definitely not in the Sweet Snuggles Light range. So I think I'll be using a 4.5 with this. But yeah, very similar to Parfait Chunky. I have cornflower blue, another lighter blue, which it says 18. Don't like that, Nooks. I don't like that a Nook. And then I got this pistachio colored green. I love this, like, I don't know, is it like the chartreuse one? I love this green. Like, honestly, it's a great green. 70 is what this one is. And then, of course, we got a brown. And this one is 58. Caramel. I'm going to name it Caramel. And then we got an off-white color. This is off-white, not pure white. So this one is 2. So what I'm going to be making with this, since this was inspired by a Nook from Nooks Hooks, we are going to make a very special hoodie bear with these 4 colors. She recently put out in her Patreon, which I would highly suggest you join if you're so inclined. I don't really join Patreons. I have exactly 2 and a Nook is one of them. Well, Nooks Hooks is one of them, I should say. And in her Patreon, She's got a blue alien hoodie pattern. So that's what I'm gonna make with this. I'm gonna probably work on this today after work. Of course, I've got about 5 whole minutes to get on the computer to start my day. And then maybe at lunchtime we'll start the body of the legs and stuff with the brown and then move on to the hoodie portion later. At least maybe I won't need this. Maybe I just need these 3 colors, but we'll see once we do it. To sum up my initial reactions, super soft. I love that you get 131 yards, so anytime a skein comes in with 100 yards or more, I'm happy. I do like the larger skeins that you get from Michaels that are more like 200 yards, just because then it's less time that I have to go back to the store, less time that I have to change a skein. It's not a big deal, but it's one of those things that is like a tiny annoyance from me. I am sure this is shitty. Again, not shitty, just shitty. Because it is so similar to, where's one that I have at the end? Let's see. Yeah, it's shitty. It's gonna be shitty. I knew that about this yarn. I don't have a problem with it. So let's get into the make. I'll show you some progress photos as I get along. Okay, I'm just getting started on the hoodie part. You always start with the hoodie part for this pattern. And I have some initial reactions to this yarn. First of all, making a magic ring was very easy. Making magic ring was very easy. I would say if you're used to using Parfait Chunky and making a magic ring with that, very similar. Again, you can definitely feel that this yarn, if you've worked with Parfait Chunky, is a little bit denser. And you can tell when squishing this that it feels denser, like feels more plush, I should say. At least to me and some of the yarns that I have been working with on Premier Parfait Chunky lately. Of course, every yarn has their ups and downs, I should say. When you're thinking about quality issues with something like yarn, now this is just from what I remember from a long time ago working in manufacturing, but 1% of defects is actually quite normal. But when you're talking about millions and millions of yardage of yarn, 1% can still be a lot, right? So that's why you get a lot of quality differences in some of these yarns, especially within the skein when you don't know until you get there. But it still sucks when you find those issues like thinning parts or parts that just really dishevel very quickly. So far so good with this one. Of course, this is one skein of millions probably. So you gotta take quality issues as they come. Obviously, if you come across skeins like that, just reach out to the supplier and see if you could return them. Honestly, I bet you a lot of manufacturers just take those returns and put them right back into stock and let somebody else deal with it. I can't guarantee you they get destroyed out unless they are absolutely crappy. I really don't. You know, it's kind of like taking returns at a store. When somebody returns something, it doesn't mean it's necessarily like bad. That person just didn't like it. So a lot of stores do put things back into inventory, put it right back on the shelf. Obviously some things are damaged out too. So anyways, as I'm working this hoodie, yeah, I do feel like this is a denser type of chenille plush for a small yarn size, which I like to use. I like to use my 4.5 millimeter hook. It's really the one I use primarily. I generally don't go above a 5.5. I do not like thick yarns because it really hurts my wrist, and this is kind of how I crochet. If you're wondering, I do yarn under. I didn't know I do yarn under till I started actually thinking about it. I just kind of always did my own thing however I learned, which was again only a year and a half ago. But I am a stabber. I don't know how people crochet like this. To me, that would hurt my wrist so much more, but I am a stabber and I just keep going like this. So far, again, very smooth on the hook. I used the cheapest hook I can possibly find, and we're just gonna keep going. That's my chatty initial thoughts about this. I am liking how it feels so far. That's the best thing with chenille, right? Chenille, and why we deal with the sheddiness is because it becomes so freaking soft. When I have my chenille items out next to like blanket items, most people go for the chenille. Okay, I'm working on the legs, and one thing I'm noticing is that because this yarn is a little bit denser than the Parfait Chunky that I've been working with, it is actually has a little bit more structure to it rather than what I'm used to. So like it's hard to get capture on camera, like this is the little foot, but it just really feels a little bit more structured, not like a blanket yarn, but it is holding its shape very well. Even when you look at the hood, like you really can't tell on camera, but it just feels like the hood isn't collapsing in on itself all the time. Like it will hold the shape very well. So I'm seeing why she likes this yarn. Obviously there are some negatives, one being the shedding probably would be one of the biggest negatives for anybody. But again, when you work with chenille yarn, you're kind of used to it, and it really doesn't, to me, it's not shredding throughout the yarn. Like, let's see if we can get it to shovel here. Okay, so there, it just started coming apart. So when you're using it to, see, there we go. So when you're using it to sew, it's gonna do this. But when you're not using it to sew, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And again, that's just the kind of the nature of a lot of these chenille yarns, I will say. Naughty Pony doesn't shed like that, I'm sure. Zaddy Craft yarn doesn't shed like that, but I do consider those, even though I haven't tried Zaddy Crafts, to me be more of like a blanket yarn that is silky like a chenille yarn. So I don't really know anything about the structure of those yarns, but they do not shed. Even Posh yarn, the Michaels brand or the Big Twist brand, there you go, Big Twist. That one also doesn't shed as much, but it feels more like a blanket yarn in the feeling of it. Like just the way it feels, it is not as soft as this. Not as soft as this, even though I do love working with that yarn as well. So just my feelings on it. Baby Bear too. Baby Bear also feels more like a blanket yarn. In fact, I have some of it here somewhere. Where are we at? This is Baby Bear. In fact, you could probably use these together. They are very similar in size. This one's Baby Bear. Yeah, they're very similar in size. So this one's Baby Bear. It also doesn't shed as bad, but it will get shreddy. Let's see how many times I can do this. See, it's starting to get shredded. I don't know if you could even see that there. So there you can start seeing it's about the same as the Cenilco, about 3 or 4 times, and then you start getting sheddy, and then harder to use when you're sewing. You have to just be gentle. I do use Parfait Chunky, I do use Baby Bear to sew. I am just a little bit more gentle, and I will say opt for a plastic hook over a metal hook. A metal hook for some reason will catch where the loop is and start shredding a lot easier than a plastic hook does. Again, you're still gonna get some shedding, but just be gentle. Just be a little bit more gentle with it, or use something else. Options are endless. So it's after work for some time, and I'm still finishing this bear. I'm this far. But I have come across in this light blue skein some areas where clearly the machine, let's see if I can get this, clearly the machine had some issues with it. See how it's kind of a little bit more tore up? This is just my guess, but I'm thinking these areas that are like that, you know, when the yarn is winded into one of these balls, I bet you this is hitting an edge somewhere where it pulls. And so that's just my guess when I think about how these are made. But yeah, that, not cool. The rest of the skein doesn't seem bad, but it doesn't seem as consistent as this one has been. So when I look at it, I can see some other places here in this light blue where there's just, it's not unusable by any means. But I did notice a little bit of a quality thing. So again, that's to be expected though. Is it nitpicky? I don't know, but I just noticed it, so I thought I would tell you. Okay, it's the next day. I'm still looking like a mess, but that's fine. We finished our bear and a little blue alien hoodie. Look at him, he's so cute. And of course, the hoodie comes down. Yes, the ears are not sewn on perfectly the same. That's all right. He's supposed to be a wonky little alien, right? Anyways, my overall thoughts on this yarn. I love it. I love it. I love working with it. It was really easy to work with. Incredibly soft. I would say Parfait Chunky is its biggest competitor right now, and I think this is better than Parfait Chunky for sure. Does it shed a lot? Yes. You can easily pick the end off of it, but that is nothing that I haven't dealt with before. I don't think it sheds as much as Sweet Snuggles Light does, but I do think it's on par with how much it sheds with Parfait Chunky. The differences between Parfait Chunky and this one, at least that I can tell, is that this one is a little bit denser. I did have the light blue skein, which was a little bit more of a mess than the other ones, but it was still not so much of a mess that I couldn't use it. It was very usable and it was still fine, and it's still denser than the Parfait Chunky skeins, like a good Parfait Chunky skein that I have. So made a magic ring very easily. If you're used to making a magic ring with Parfait Chunky or Sweet Snuggles Light, about the same. You're gonna have to be a little bit gentler. Sewing, definitely shreddy and shitty when sewing. It will come apart when sewing. Sew gently. I was able to sew both of these ears on. This is the only part that I sew in this pattern. And it was fine. It was fine. A little bit shreddy at the end, but definitely use a plastic hook when sewing with this. It helps a little bit. Another thing, I don't do a center pull, so can't tell you about that one. I mean, we can try. You want to try with one of these guys? I don't know. I don't know if this center pulls or not. I really don't want to, guys. I don't want to do that. I don't center pull for this yarn barf reason. I prefer to just work from the outside in. I don't care if it flops all over the place. So, probably not a good center pull, honestly. Don't know. But I will say, because this says 75 colors, because it's on sale, 40% off of 5 skeins is a really good deal. And because I can get free shipping through Amazon, because they only sell through Amazon storefront, I think this is going to be my new go-to yarn, to be quite honest, because it looks, I love Parfait Chunky, but the shipping and having to buy like a mass order every time I go to do it really sucks. I mean, I was able to get 5 skeins for like $26, which is pretty good. And again, the shade range, crazy. The shade range is crazy. Overall, I think I found my new favorite yarn. The biggest things for me on why I think this is going to be my go-to for the foreseeable future. The shade range. The shade range is huge. 75 different colors is insane. Like, that's insane. I can get almost any color I need. Lots of greens, lots of reds, which usually there aren't any. Different types of browns, blues, everything. The shade range is amazing. I can see why Anouk loves this yarn. The other thing that I love about it, that is number one, I can get it on Amazon with free shipping since I'm a Prime member Free shipping these days and age with the way the economy is, honestly, is king for me. And I was able to make a smaller order without having to do like spend like $100 in yarn to get the free shipping. So I bought 5 skeins and it was $26. $26. So to me, that's great. That's like, I want to make this project, or I need this yarn for this project quickly, and it'll come quickly. Put an asterisk there because my yarn did get stuck in customs. I thought it looked like the originating shipper was somewhere in Tennessee, but it still gave me the tag that said it was stuck in customs. So maybe it was being sent to Tennessee and then shipped. I don't really know what happened there. It took about a week or so to get to me. So don't expect Amazon Prime 2-day free shipping. That's not gonna happen. It does give you an estimated shipping date, so just keep that in mind. But to me, still, I didn't have to pay for shipping, and that's beautiful. So that's it. Those are my final thoughts. If you want to try out this yarn for yourself, I'll leave some links down below. Also the pattern as well will also be linked down below. I am a huge fan of Anouk's patterns, but I'm definitely going to be using this yarn to make some other things here very soon. I definitely will also be placing another order as soon as I don't have like a ton of yarn. Like I honestly have a lot of yarn right now. This little blue alien, by the way, I am working on my website right now. He will be on my website very soon. Check back for that. I'll do a whole video on it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.